Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who story number 137, The Twin Dilemma. 4 episodes. It is what it is. Like, it's not a bad story. I kind of liked it. I didn't think it was great by any means. Like, it's nothing to write home about. It's not the fifth Doctor though, so it's already like infinitely times better. So overall, any story for like the first story of a Doctor, I guess I should say, is rough. Actually, the first couple of stories. And I don't care if it's the first Doctor. You watch those first couple of stories with William Hartnell where they don't quite know what they're doing. Like, he goes to bash the lady's head in with a rock, and you're like, that's not very Doctor-like, because they're figuring out the character. So I'm always going to be a little bit more lenient on the first story for a new Doctor. And they even say in this one where he was poisoned and so he regenerated. And so he even says, like, there's something different about this one. And so he's very manic, as they say, throughout the entire story. He's very, very manic. And he goes through these weird, like, phases where he, like, physically attacks Peri. Like, he is sitting there choking her. And it's like, what is happening right now? And so you can kind of tell, like, things are not quite what they seem. He needs to really sort some things out. So stuff like that doesn't really bother me because it is a new Doctor and he is going through his regeneration process. The actual plot for this, not so great. Actually, I like the final plot. The beginning plot, the actual twin plot with Romulus and Remus. I love their names because, I mean, I'm a Trekkie, so I know the planets of Romulus and Remus. And so stuff like that was awesome. Take him out, wouldn't have missed a beat. So stuff like that. His coat, I know that Colin Baker hated it, and he actually wanted something more of like the black trench coat or something like what we got with the Ninth Doctor. But the colorful quote, like, I didn't mind it. And as I was watching this story, my husband just happened to be passing through the room, and he's like, ooh, I like that quilt coat. So stuff like that. It is what it is. We meet another Time Lord, somebody that he knew 2 generations ago, which would have been the 4th Doctor, so that's kind of cool. The main, like, aliens in this story look just like goats, but with heavy black makeup on. So I was like, okay, it's kind of weird. And the whole thing basically is just when a sun explodes, it's going to scatter these slug eggs and it's going to take over the universe. That's actually kind of interesting to me. Like, I actually like that, where they're purposely going to blow up a sun just to scatter eggs. And I was like, I like that. So I complained a lot about the 5th Doctor because he was super pretentious and he was just full of himself and he was just rude and I didn't like him. Colin Baker, I will admit, is also extremely rude, especially to Peri. At least for this first story, which I'm not going to be judging as harshly. But he also does it in a way that's really funny, where he's like, did I threaten you? Did you hear me threaten him? And he's like, I'm going to kill you or whatever. He's like, you watch it, mister. I was cracking up. I thought he was so funny. And just like the I remember you. I don't like you. Like, I was like, oh, like, see, to me, Colin Baker is rude, but funny rude. Like, almost more sarcastic rude. Whereas, to me, Peter Davison was just a jackass. So, I don't know. So far, I'm already liking Colin Baker more. And then, for people like me who prefer Colin Baker, like, I love where we get to the end. And he's like, I'm going to be the Doctor whether you like it or not. And that's an important thing. Like, I will never gatekeep, or, I mean, I'm going to try never to gatekeep, where so many people nowadays are just like, especially with, like, Jodie being the 13th Doctor, and they're like, she's not the Doctor, I don't like her. I don't give a fuck if you like her or not. She's still the Doctor. And so, like, for me, I don't like Peter Davison. I hated the 5th Doctor, but I'm never going to be like, you know what, he is not the Doctor, and I refuse to acknowledge. Even if I don't like him, he's still going to be the Doctor. And so, I love how they kind of throw that. Like, I'm the new Doctor, whether you like it or not, here I am. Because that's the thing. Like, even if you don't like a specific Doctor, you can skip over that one. You can go to the stories that you appreciate, and it works. So, I don't know. I really kind of appreciated that line where he's like, well, for the next couple seasons, I'm gonna be the Doctor. And it's like, okay, like, I got you. Fine, whatever. So I didn't mind this as far as our first story goes. It gives me hope. I mean, realistically, we're almost done with the classic stories, and it feels like it's going by so quick at this point. So, curious what you guys think of Colin Baker, the return of Colin Baker, especially as he played a different character earlier. So let me know, and I will see you guys next time for Attack of the Cybermen.